This is the EILLEO EB007, a compact electric dirt bike that hits way harder than its size suggests. The headline is simple: 3,000 watts peak power up to 37.5 miles per hour, a 48-volt 20 Ah battery, and a chassis that's closer to a mini e-moto than a casual e-bike. In my opinion, that puts it firmly in the private land, trail, and track category, rather than daily street use. My first reaction was equal parts excitement and caution. Big torque on a small frame is thrilling, but it also asks you to be intentional about setup, maintenance, and where you ride. The EB007 looks like a mini moto built for dirt. The 14-inch front and 12-inch rear wheels wear wide off-road tires, so you get a planted footprint in soft or loose surfaces. The frame is high-carbon alloy steel, and the battery sits low and central, which helps the bike feel stable when you're threading through tight sections. The suspension is full, fork up front, and a nitrogen shock out back, so it's not just a rigid pit bike with a motor slapped on. The hydraulic discs are the right choice for something that can push past 30 miles per hour. The lever feel matters a lot when you're braking on loose ground. The saddle and standover height are approachable. From my experience with small chassis dirt machines, that low seat builds confidence fast because you can dab a foot and recover if the rear steps out. Ergonomically, this format favors teens and smaller adults. Tall or heavy riders can ride it, with a max load rating of 264 pounds. But some will want more room to move when standing over the pegs and working the bike aggressively. A small note that still matters for trail use: the included headlight and tail light add visibility for dusk rides or campground paths, even though I wouldn't treat them as a green light for public road riding at speed. What stands out here is how the power is delivered. The platform uses a mid-drive layout that leverages the bike's gearing, and that's why 3,000 watts in this package feels so immediate. Twist the throttle and the response is almost instant, with torque quoted at 180 Newton meters. On steep climbs, being able to stay in the motor's sweet spot through gearing keeps the chassis moving without that bogged-down feeling you get from underpowered hub setups. In my opinion, that's the difference between can I make this hill and how cleanly can I pick my line. On speed, sure, 37.5 miles per hour is there, but it's a number that needs respect. A mini chassis on choppy terrain will remind you to manage speed with your eyes and your right hand, not just the spec sheet. The suspension is tuned for real-world trail chatter, roots, and potholes, not big moto track doubles. Keep that in mind and you'll be happy. Push it like a full-size motocross bike and you'll find the limits faster than you expect. Braking lives up to the spec. Hydraulic discs give you the modulation to slow down without just locking the wheel at the worst moment, which is essential when you're dropping speed on dirt. Range is another place where expectations should match intent. The 48-volt, 20-amp-hour battery is a solid capacity for this class. The brand says 40 to 60 miles, which is doable if you cruise at moderate speeds and pick easier terrain. From my experience with high-power LEVs, spirited riding with lots of throttle and climbs usually puts you closer to the lower end. Think 20 to 35 miles of fun if you're pushing it, and plan your loop so you're not limping home. Charging time of around 6 to 7 hours lines up with a 20-amp-hour pack on a standard charger, so overnight top-ups are straightforward. I did dig into reliability notes because big torque can shake weak spots loose. There have been reports on related platforms of bolts and screws, especially around the front assembly, working themselves out or stripping after sharp hits. That's not unique to this model or this brand. It's a reality of budget-friendly, high-power mini e-motos. In my opinion, thread locker and a torque wrench are part of the kit here. Quick maintenance pays you back on the trail. Chain lube around every 125 miles if you're riding hard. Brake pad checks every couple hundred miles, and a fastener inspection cadence so minor vibrations don't turn into ride enders. There's also the electronic side. On budget controllers, long periods at peak power can push things into thermal protection. If you see a power protect or sudden softening in output, that's likely the bike saving itself. Let it cool, and it resets. It's not a deal breaker, but it's good to understand what's happening so you don't chase ghosts. Key features that make this bike click for me are the torque, the agility, and the value proposition. The 3,000-watt mid-drive doesn't just sound impressive. It makes hills feel shorter and technical sections feel manageable because you can meter power through the gearing. The compact 1412 setup is nimble and confidence-inspiring on tight single-track, camp loops, or pit lane shuttles. The hydraulic brakes and full suspension give you the control you need to use the power without constantly worrying about stopping or getting bounced offline. I also appreciate the practical touches. The lighting is simple but useful. The digital display is easy to read. The size and 62.99 by 12 by 41.34-inch footprint mean it's not a pain to transport. And the brand's support track record, plus a 2-year frame warranty, takes the edge off the usual what-if concerns that come with smaller manufacturers. In my opinion, that matters as much as a big spec number when you're buying something to actually ride, not just look at. If you're wondering about who it suits, I'd recommend this for riders stepping up from a typical e-bike who want real dirt capability without going full-size moto, and for teens or smaller adults who want big torque in a manageable package. It's perfect for private trails, ranch roads, campgrounds, and as a pit bike you can actually rip. If you're looking for a weekday street commuter, this isn't it, and if you're tall with a more aggressive riding style, you may want a larger chassis. Keep in mind the legal side too. With a top speed near 37.5 miles per hour, it will be treated as an unregistered motorcycle in many places, so plan to ride on private property or closed courses. The EILLEO EB007 is a punchy mini e-moto that leans into power and agility over premium finishing. In my opinion, the heart of the bike, the motor, gearing advantage, and low-slung battery, delivers the fun most people are chasing in this category. From my experience evaluating high-power LEVs, the trade-offs are predictable and manageable. Stay on top of fasteners, respect the suspension's limits, learn the controller's behavior under heat, and ride it where it's meant to be ridden. Do that and you get a compact off-road machine that climbs hard, sprints fast, and fits easily into your weekend. I'd recommend this for anyone who values torque and nimble handling more than top-tier components, wants a low seat that builds confidence, and isn't afraid of a light maintenance routine. If that's you, the EB007 will put a smile on your face the moment you crack the throttle. Check the comments of this video for a link to see the current pricing of the EILLEO EB007.